everyone, so today I wanted to film a really quick tutorial on how I clean and detangle doll hair. This was requested by someone a while ago, but I didn't have any tangly dolls to demonstrate this on until now. I got really lucky and I found this super cool styling head. It's a live in concert styling head, Bratz dolls, at a charity store. And as you can see, she has really bad tangles. And since she's so big, I thought that she'd be the perfect candidate to demonstrate this on. So ignore Tori in the background. She's my childhood doll. I'm just redoing her hair. So I think that the main thing that I've learned about doing doll hair and detangling doll hair is that dry combing it, like trying to untangle hair when it's dry, is a really bad idea. It tends to put a lot of unnecessary tension on the head that can cause like the neck to break or the neck to get white marks in it from the stress being put on it. And also the doll will lose a lot more hair because you have to use a lot more force. And it just takes an incredible amount of time that is completely unnecessary. So the way I detangle hair is I always have the doll wet before I detangle her. So obviously I like to clean their hair first. So I'm going to show you how I clean her hair and exactly like what I use. And also I like to start with a wide tooth comb. I got this at the dollar store. I had another one that I really liked with a longer handle, but one of my Barbies broke it and I'm really upset. And then to like further detangle it, once all of the big knots are out, I use one of these little rat tail combs. You see these guys all the time. I got this from Sally's Beauty Supply in a pack of 12, and I think the pack was like a few dollars, so I break these all the time. The little teeth fall out, so I need multiples. And then to clean the hair, I like to use dish soap. It smells really good. It also has antibacterial properties, and you know, I use this for a bunch of different things. But whatever you want to use, like, you don't need to use baby shampoo or mild shampoo. A lot of people say that, but honestly, it's plastic. That's all the doll hair is, whether you're talking an American Girl or you're talking a Bratz doll or a Barbie. It's just plastic. That's all it is. So you can use a dish soap on it. And then just whatever kind of conditioner. I usually buy like cheap conditioner from like the dollar store, but I am just using what I use on my hair because I find it's like a little bit thicker, so I don't need as much. But again, whatever you want. If you want to use high-end stuff, or if you want to use really cheap stuff, whatever works best for you. I just don't recommend 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioners. I don't recommend that for people either. When I went to cosmetology school, I found out that those are bad because something can't clean and condition your hair at the same time. Because a shampoo will strip out like all of the, you know, gross like hair product and oils and stuff from your hair, and a conditioner's job is to deposit like a coating on your hair to make it easier to comb. So obviously something can't do both at the same time. So what ends up happening with those is that your hair doesn't actually get clean. It just kind of coats the dirt and stuff back in the hair. So if you like using those and they work for you, good, but I just personally wouldn't recommend it. So I'm going to start with washing Yaz. So I washed my little friend's face and neck. So if this was a regular doll, I'd wash the body first, and I just use dish soap and baking soda for that. I talk a lot about that in my like different dolly transformation videos. It's really simple. I just use a toothbrush and scrub on some dish soap, rinse, and then scrub on some baking soda, and that just gets off all the gunk. But I like to do that first because a lot of times like the baking soda and soap will get into the hair. So if I clean the hair first, then it would kind of be pointless. So I recommend just cleaning the body first, whether you're doing an American Girl or Barbie, just so that you don't waste your time and need to redo it. So that's why she's a little wet. So I'm just going to make her hair damp. It doesn't matter what water temperature. That really just depends. And then if you're using dish soap, you're really not going to need much. And I'm not taking her hair out of its style because it's in pretty good. And it's a really cute hairstyle that's kind of annoying to put back in. But if the doll was really dirty, I would definitely say take out the hairstyle. And I'll just like rub some soap over the part that's in the elastics. It's just important to rinse. And then I'm going to do that to the other side. So it's just like lathering like you would your own hair. If a doll has really long hair, like Rapunzel length hair, I wouldn't recommend like scrubbing it all up to the scalp because that's just going to make your job harder. I recommend just pulling it through like this I'll show you. Like on her little tendrils here, doing this with the soap. But if it's a doll with short hair, or if the doll's already really tangled looking, it doesn't matter. So, once you rinse that all out thoroughly, I recommend repeating. The reason for this is that the first shampooing, the first cleaning, will basically just get rid of any like debris, but the second cleaning will actually like disinfect the hair and make it smell good. Something I learned in cosmetology school, and I find it works out great. If the doll is really matted, like this ponytail, I'll go back and wash it again once I've detangled. So then I just like to kind of squeeze out the excess water before I move her over to the towel. It's a good idea to protect your surface with the towel because it does get really messy. And then I like to lay the doll flat. It's a little hard because she has this base. I'll start with the easier side. And I'm just going to take some conditioner. Now, I know I'm going to need quite a bit to do her. I'm just going to work it in. It's really important to use conditioner because A, it makes the hair a lot more manageable to work through, it makes it smell good too, and it makes it shiny and soft. So, if this was like a fashion doll with a regular body, I would hold, I'll show you on Ariel, I actually kept her out. Ariel's completely done. But I would like put my thumb around the top of Ariel's head and detangle that way, so like almost holding her head onto her neck so that I wouldn't be ripping at her neck. But on her it's a little different. I'm just going to hold the top of her ponytail, and I'm going to start with a wide tooth comb, and starting at the bottom I'm going to work my way up, and you can see how easy this is detangling because of the conditioner. Now Yasmin has nylon hair, so it's not exactly the easiest hair type to work with because it tends to stretch out. But it doesn't shed as much. If your doll sheds a lot while you're detangling her, that's totally normal, especially depending on the hair type. And then I'm going to take my fine tooth comb once I feel like I've detangled well enough with the wide tooth comb, and I'm just going to, again, start at the bottom and work my way up. If you start at the top, you're just going to create a bunch of knots. And then I'm going to do her other side here, which I don't know if there was some sort of like hair thing that came with her, but it's like her hair is knotted in a million loops. So I'm going to get some conditioner, and I'm going to coat her hair. And again, if this was a doll with really long hair, I wouldn't ball up the conditioner, I would just pull it through like this. So this is going to be the tricky part. Just going to start from the bottom and work my way up. You don't want to like, you know, have at the doll with too much force, because even if you're holding the head, you'll just end up causing a lot of split ends. But you know, you also don't want to be too gentle where you're not actually detangling. So a lot of that noise you're hearing is because her hair is not like actually in full on knots. And if it's really bad, like hers, you can break it up into little subsections. I'm so used to doing doll hair, I don't usually have to do that. But my sister does. She always works in little sections. But for her, I think I might have to. You can see here, like, this is really knotted. And I like to lay them flat on the towel because it just gives me a good surface to work on. If you tried to tackle this kind of knot with like a fine tooth comb, you'd get nowhere, and the doll would just end up breaking her comb. Now, shampooing and conditioning most dolls' hair won't be enough if they're like heavily played with to make them look brand new. If you flip through like my Dolly Transformations album on Flickr, the results that I show aren't just from basic detangling and like shampooing and conditioning. It's also in addition to, you know, a boil wash or a flat iron. This is like basically the prep stage. But it will make a big difference. So I'll be back when I'm done detangling her because this is going to take a while. So I finished detangling Yaz, I rinsed out the conditioner, and you can see that this ponytail didn't survive just from me having to struggle so much getting the tangles out. It like messed up this part up here, so I took it out, but I'm trying to keep a bit of it separate so I remember how to put it back together. It still looks bad, and that's what I mean about this being the first step. See, this side detangled. Like, if I let this air dry, it would turn out, you know, decent, a lot better. But this side, if I let it air dry, it would look terrible. I think she's gonna need a flat iron. So, yeah, but she barely lost any hair. It's just that stuff that's in the comb. It really depends on, like I said, the hair type. Nylon hair doesn't tend to shed as much, and also like the type of doll. Bratz dolls don't tend to shed as much as Barbies because they have like heavier, harder plastic, so it like holds the hair plugs in, whereas Barbies have the softer, squishier heads, so really they just bald super easy. So I will be back when she is all done. So it is the next day. I flat ironed Yaz and I gave her a boil wash, and this is what she looks like. So much better. Now this side over here cleaned up really nice even after just being detangled, but this was the side that I was showing you guys me combing out, and it was really, really gnarly. So even though it looks really like nice, it does feel a little bit coarser down at the bottom. And if you look, it's like a little shorter on this side because I had to trim this side up because there was like just a lot of damage down here. But overall, I think she turned out really great. So I hope this video helped you guys out. I know that it's really simple, but I have gotten requests for this. See any of my different like makeover pictures and whatnot, or see like written out tutorials for different like doll restoration stuff, check out my Dolly Transformations album on Flickr, as well as my Tips and Tutorials album on Flickr, and I also have a Tips and Tutorials playlist here on YouTube. If you want to know how to boil wash or flat iron, check those out, and until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.